We are now 5 wide. Presented by Quick Trip's quality gasoline guarantee. It's just another way Quick Trip has you covered.
9 to noon, ready to go. Kuhn and Armin today. Butchie is off on assignment, as they say in television land, which translates, Kuhn, loosely into none of your business.
None of your stinking beeswax.
You're right. Where's Joan Johnson today on the news desk? She's on assignment. Oh, really? What do you mean by assignment? Now, none of your business. She's off tonight.
It's called assignment.
Anyway, good morning, boys. How we doing? Assignment. What do you mean assignment? Assignment to sleep in and do whatever I want. In other words, take a day off, for God's sakes. All right. So how was your weekends, fellas? Let's start. Go quick and leave in every detail. I want to hear about it all.
Member guest disaster for myself. Could not hit a golf ball. Debating throwing the clubs away and just picking up a different picking up a different hobby. I don't know why at 41 years old I get as worked up as I get, and I struggle as much as I struggle, and I do the things that I do on a stinking golf course because it was beautiful weather. We got lucky. The thunderstorms came through at night and during the day. I mean, what am I doing here? You know, 48, 46, 44, I think was my low 9. It's just pathetic.
Good.
It's pathetic.
Okay.
And I'm ready to be done.
So, Armin, you being a big Seinfeldologist.
Love
right?
Seinfeld.
Do you consider yourself very fluent in Seinfeld?
I do.
No
I
one
do.
more.
I do.
Coon
Who are you, what are
is
you
at
saying? What are you saying here?
Sorry, I choked.
Coon Crane.
I shanked it like you shanked the shot.
I know what that means.
Kuhn is at the Kramer stage of golf when this iconic moment happened.
Hey, you want these? I don't want them. What? I stink. I can't play. The ball is just sitting there, Jerry, and I can't hit it. I only hit one really good ball that went way out there. Well, what happened? I have no concentration.
And of course,
Dude,
that's the marine biologist episode, one of the great episodes of all time. Jerry called it his favorite episode of all time. And that finished with one of the greatest walk-off lines in any episode. Kramer goes, "What is that, a Titleist?" One of the greatest moments ever.
Because he was practicing hitting golf balls into the ocean. Which then blocked the blowhole of the whale.
Right?
And then it was Costanza who pretended like he was a marine biologist who had to be called in to try to get the whale unstuck. Good. Have you seen that episode of Seinfeld?
I mean, about 10 times.
What is that, a Titleist?
Okay, good. I don't know your fluency in Seinfeld.
Yeah,
I made
know.
Josh watch the series.
Yeah.
He is rudimentary in it, but I just didn't know that.
What is that, a Titleist?
I actually, when I was in high school, I used to watch it. It was on Monday nights, I believe, at 9:00 Eastern time, right? That's when it was. It was it was kind of a late time there, middle school, high school, to be able to stay up and watch. I remember I used to beg my mom, "Hey, we're good. It's only 30 minutes long. Let me stay up and watch this thing." And then when we got to college, it was an opportunity to rewatch them all in order because they had the VHS collections at that time that you could get. So started purchasing them and watching them in college to catch up on the ones that I missed when my mom would not let me stay up.
Seasons 1 through 3 were Thursdays at 9:30 p.m.
Then they moved it up next to Cheers, right? And then it really took off.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So there's only 2 types of golfers, I think, out there in the world, Kuhn. Those who have considered quitting the game in anger, and those who will eventually get there if they play the game enough. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Every golfer, I think, has had that moment of, is this for me? Am I really?
What am I doing
the
here?
money, the time, the strain on your relationship with your
family
wife,
relationships,
the number of things you sacrifice for a hobby, not a job.
Yes,
a hobby. The torture you put yourself through for this damn. Exactly. It's supposed to be fun.
You're supposed to relax. It's supposed to be fun. Exactly right. See, I was at that point once, and it was actually after a trip in my younger years to Pebble Beach with a coworker. It's a young man working at KTMS Radio just out of college in Santa Barbara, California. Went up there with what would soon to be one of the most beloved Las Vegas weathermen, John Fredericks, but he was working in Santa Barbara at the time as a DJ on an FM station, and we scraped enough money together before Pebble Beach got insanely expensive, Coon, to go up there and play for about 3 or 4 days over the weekend, right? And I remember playing so poorly, and it was a decent amount of money. It was a bit of a stretch for it. A young man like myself. Excuse me.
We're with you, Zabe. Don't worry.
Yeah,
we're
ahead.
with you.
Yeah.
And
We got you.
and at one point I said, I can't believe I blew all this money and I can't play. I'm at the most beautiful course in the world. What am I doing? As soon as we're done with this trip, I quit. I'm going to give my golf clubs away.
Just because you couldn't hit it
And
straight.
my friend John Fredericks just looked at me and chuckled and said, "No, you won't." I go, "No, I'm serious. I will." And his response still echoes in my brain, Coon, all these years later. You know what he said after he laughed? Said, "No, you're not."
Gunga la gunga. Sorry, go
No,
ahead.
he didn't say gunga la gunga la gunga la gunga.
What is that?
He said, no, he didn't say that either, Armin. He said, "No, you're not. There's nothing else to do."
I mean, he might be right.
Talk about a
that.
golfer-centric view of the world, right? There's nothing else to do, which means, like, as a golfer, you think there really isn't anything else worth pursuing, when in fact, there's a billion things you
Of
can
course. And I don't play golf that much, and there's a lot I do. So obviously, there's nothing else to do that.
I
would
can't watch
make him
YouTube
excited.
videos, Armin.
Right.
I can't do it. I can't.
do. Once you get bitten with the golf bug, it's like, what else would I do? You know, it's
Go
an
bowling.
obsession that knows no bounds once you're infected.
Sure, it's the passion.
You got to be infected, because the problem is, more than anything, I could give the clubs away. I could walk away from this thing, and I would feel fine until I drove past the first golf course on a beautifully sunny day, very little wind, people out there, maybe a cocktail in hand, walking that course, just looking like having the time of their life. And then I'll think to myself, the hell did you give this thing up for?
Yeah.
I would kill
Yeah.
myself.
Golf is as I say, golf is the dumbest, hardest game ever. But the problem is they haven't invented a better one yet. Until they do, that's going to be a problem for those of us who've been bitten by the golf bug. How can you not be inspired, Kuhn, by seeing Rory McIlroy lace a nuclear 2-iron into a howling Scottish gale, no more than head height, right to about 10 feet pin high, and then draining a birdie to gut the native son, Robert McIntyre of Scotland, on the final hole of the Scottish Open? That's incredible.
Yeah. And even Rory is not immune to the pain of golf, right?
No.
Just as you say that, he wins the Scottish Open. Is that good or is that bad for his major championship
Terrible.
drought that he has? I agree.
I
Absolutely.
don't think anyone has gone back-to-back Scottish Open, British Open, although maybe Mickelson did when he won it at Muirfield. Don't quote me on that. It's hard. You know, you expend so much energy winning. He did this past Sunday, but I'm happy for him. I don't know how anyone cannot like McIlroy. I'm a McIlroy fanboy.
Yes, you
till
are.
Death. Big time.
No, I'm
You
with
like
you on
McIlroy?
that. I agree. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a good dude. He's down to earth. He's funny.
So-
he understands himself.
So in absence of golf as a fanatic pursuit or hobby, Armin, let's turn to your sport, tennis.
Yeah, I
This
love
Wimbledon
tennis.
final
It was amazing.
bonkers.
You witnessing a birth of a legend with Alcaraz. I know he won the U.S. Open last year and everything like that, but really this kid especially just turned 20, and I was consternating for 3 days about if this kid had a real chance to beat Novak on grass, because we didn't see him enough on grass, and Novak is
Hold on
Novak.
a second. Hold on a second. Josh, could you please engage the Zabe House players to recreate Armin for 3 days, consternating
Was
vocally over whether or not Alcaraz had the medal to win? Go ahead.
Oh man.
Okay.
Well, you got music coming? We need the. Oh,
none of these. I'm just saying, give me your impression of Armin
I see.
obsessing about Alcaraz's
Oh,
chances at Wimbledon. Go.
I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe this kid can do it. He might be able to do it. You know what? I think he can. I think he can do it. I think this kid's going to be the next big thing. And I'm not afraid to say it. I'll say it to whoever wants to hear it. This guy can do it. I believe in this kid. I believe in him. He's going to do it. He's the next big thing. There you go.
But he might not because it's Joker and it's Joker.
Joker.
No. Once Armin gets there, he doesn't. It takes a while for him to come.
Well, then he has not played much on grass before, and then Joker's really good on grass because of the serve. He won the last 4 Wimbledons. Then again, Alcaraz has beaten Djokovic before, but it was in the clay, the Madrid Open. It wasn't like a major. It wasn't on the same stage, But Carlos Ferrer's his coach, so maybe he can be. Yeah.
Here was Joker as he sat there and gave a beautiful speech as the runner-up, which, Kuhn, what other sport makes the runner-up have to sit there?
Right.
While the guy who just beat you have his moment in the sun? Nothing, right?
No, that's a little
unique in sports.
I mean, the other sports, they run to the locker room so that the other team can celebrate all by themselves. I mean, they run to the locker room.
But that's why tennis corners the market on sportsmanship, because in tennis, you learn how to handle a loss with grace, class, and humility. And
no, you're forced to.
No,
you're forced. You're saying learn to.
You're forced to learn. You're forced to learn. And the best
golf has entered the chat on sportsmanship, but okay, yes,
it's up there. It's up there. Yeah, it's up there.
I mean, has anyone ever refused to stand there with a stupid runner-up serving bowl or whatever piece of
I don't know
hardware that is?
To win second at Wimbledon's still a pretty big accomplishment, and there was, I think people approach that
not for Joker.
I think
Armin.
People
not for he won the last 4.
I think
holding it.
It's just like
he really wants to be out there holding a dish.
Just like winning a silver medal at the Olympics was a monster accomplishment, or medaling at the Olympics.
Hold on.
We got this notion in sports that it's one or nothing, which is fine. You try to achieve the best. But you know what? You understand that you can become great. You can be great.
Did you say you win second?
You can
second.
You can pursue athletic greatness.
You win second.
Fall short of first and still be very proud of what you did.
Channel
and
your inner Ricky
that.
Bobby and educate your producer on what winning second is actually doing.
No,
you're not first or last, Armin. Sorry.
See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is the problem is, like, in tennis, you understand how to handle a loss, and it's okay. This is what athletics should be. The pursuit of greatness.
Listen, I love the tradition.
I know, you're
love
right.
The class.
You shouldn't win second.
But I just found it funny you said he won second.
It was a little odd.
So speaking of Alcaraz, or Alcatraz, as I like to call him.
Right.
It's a good nickname, I guess.
You mentioned that, he had popped on the radar having won the U.S. Open, but there was some thought that he couldn't be an all-court menace. Well, Joker put that to rest in this speech afterwards.
Matches like this, but I guess when all the emotions are settled, I have to still be very grateful because I won many tight and close matches in the past year. To name a few, 2019 against Roger in that finals where I was match points down. Maybe I should have lost a couple of finals that I won. So I think this is even Steven.
Even Steven. He also talked about
attitude.
Yeah, he also talked about Alcaraz saying, this guy's going to be a problem, like on every surface.
Maybe hardcore, but not on grass. But now, it's a different story from this year, obviously. Congrats, amazing way to adapt to the surface. You played maybe once or twice before this year's Wimbledon on grass, and amazing, just what you did in Queens, and congratulations to your team. Juanqui, everybody, well done, guys.
That's good stuff right there.
It's awesome.
That hits me right in the sportsmanship zone right there, the warm and fuzzy. I love it.
I also personally like sometimes that it rejects the notion that to be a great in sport, and Novak is by many accounts the greatest or near that top of the GOAT, maybe Roger, whatever, that you have to be some sort of, maniacal mental killer that hates your opponent, that, that whole Jordan thing. And that's okay if you have that mentality, but you don't have to be this guy is showing grace, class, and showing gratitude for his career, admitting he wasn't the best that day, congratulating his teammate, congratulating his coaches. And you can be that and still be the greatest in your sport.
What I love, Kuhn, is I love the generational passing of the torch.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't really even follow tennis, but I'm watching this clip and I'm seeing the young 20-year-old Alcaraz And I don't know if he idolized Joker growing up. I'm sure he watched him. Sure, he borrowed some aspects of his game, but here's a 20-year-old kid that just got the best of one of the all-time greats and beat him at 20. Love it.
That's got to feel pretty good, I would say, especially setting up the fact that Joker came in about the same as Alcaraz and did the same thing with Federer and Nadal. Had a little bit of a mini slump right after he had that immense success, correct, Armin? And then jumped back into this, superstar status where you got to wonder. At one point, you had Federer, Nadal, Joker just starting it. You had three guys at the top of their reign. Joker's going to be there for a little while with Alcaraz, but who else, Armin?
Right.
This could be. I mean, it's just the next one.
That's the thing. This could be his era. It probably will be. The funny thing about it is Joker's 36 now. And there was always this notion that when Roger finally retired and when Rafa is kind of matriculating toward that, he's close to retirement, but he's still playing, that this would be Djokovic's time. It would open up for him to really stack up majors and to separate himself with everybody. Right now, maybe that won't be the case anymore. This was his chance to do that. And he already had won 2 this year, the French and the Australian. And he could really separate himself because he was fighting Rafa and Roger when he first came up. And those guys came up when Sampras and Agassi and all those other guys were exiting the game, and the other greats, of course. But the difference, of course,
but the larger thing is beyond just tennis. Generation Next is what keeps, I think, you as a sports fan young.
Right.
To watch Generation Next in whatever sport it is.
We're all excited for the future.
Ellie De La Cruz, who we all love to watch. He got bupkis this weekend, which was glorious, right?
It was a shame.
It was a shame. Although, did you see his 97-mile-an-hour throw to first? Fastest StatCast has ever recorded.
Yeah, and that's the only thing. I mean, that's going to be seen by more people than the 0 for 12.
Right. Do you know why they measure that? Is there any reason or purpose? They don't coach.
The same reason they measure how fast a player runs on the field and the fastest player on the field. I always find that entertaining at NFL games. In the fourth quarter, they show the fastest speeds anybody has ran that day.
Top speed, according to Amazon Web Services.
You got a couple wide receivers up there that maybe have caught a 60-yard touchdown or a nice deep ball they ran for. And then you got a lot of guys running on the kickoff team down on that list. Just, hey, we got a 40-yard sprint. We're hitting top speed. You didn't even know it because it was kicked through the end zone, but I ran really fast, really, really fast.
Fake hustle, that eye wash. Well, look at me. Hop, 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 hop.
In theory, it could help. I mean, listen, what's the importance of the stat? I mean, I guess if you throw it faster and accurate, you could beat the runner, become a better fielder, right, though? Isn't that the obvious reason?
Yeah. And if you run faster, you're a better athlete.
Yeah.
We all get it. But do you need it? No.
We
now
need
you know
there's
a whole bunch of little leaguers, Kuhn, are going to see that tweet and that on Instagram,
and they're just going to start
TikTok.
piping them over the first baseman's head, just straight into the stands.
Thoughts and prayers to the parents sitting down the first base line in Little League for the next year.
So, Jerry, how's work going? Oh, God.
Johnny, why are you throwing it so hard? Ellie De La Cruz threw it that hard. I want to do the same. Well, you're not him, kid. So let's try to calm him down.
Now get on the damn bag.
Get on the damn bag. Stop throwing it so hard. All right, we got pads a-cracking as of Wednesday in the league, Kuhn, as several teams report to camp early because they're going to be in the Hall of Fame game.
That's an embellishment, but they do start. They do start on the 19th.
Yes. I love it. I love it. Lord Football awakens from his autumnal slumber to once again dominate the sporting landscape. All right. Tag You're It, 9 to noon is next. Josh, great job as always. Thank you to Nate Vomhall for coming on in. He got the killer photo of the lightning strike over the lakefront during the Harley Fest performance by the Foo Fighters. And thank you as well to Mike Keller, who popped in today as well. Have a great Monday, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.